Hello everyone, I'm going on a ghost after tomorrow. It will be a month until the ghost hunt. Honestly, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. For me, the travel is my favourite bit. Reason being, I thought I'd do a video talking about the ghost hunt. It's at, I've already done some videos talking about the ghost hunt. If you haven't already, go and check them out. I'm just doing this for the new viewers as well that have just joined that are new. It's going to be at St. Brivels Castle, Gloucestershire. And I wanted to do it because me and my mum are going. It's just me and my mum. And honestly, I haven't been this excited since the last one, which was June last year, Missley Woods. And this ghost hunt is amazing. I will do see if I can find the history of St. Brivels video of someone talking about history of St. Brivels Castle, so you can get what I'm gonna be in for, if you know what I mean. I know what I'm looking for, so it's alright. I know what I'm looking for, so don't worry. So, it's alright. I got flies landing on me. Just in case you're wondering why the camera's shaking at times, because the flies keep landing on me. I'm looking for a video of someone talking about the history of St. Brivels Castle, so it's extremely haunted, put it that way. I'll turn this up a bit so you guys can hear it's basically a video, someone talking about the history of St. Brivels Castle, the castle where I'm going for this ghost hunt. And if you are new, subscribe as well. And yes, I absolutely am interested in the paranormal. I've witnessed paranormal activity myself. I'm going to have the camera close up to the TV so you can hear it. Listen very... Hang on, I'm not going to pause the camera.
The history of the site dates back to about 1067, which is when the original castle was built on this site. It was a Norman castle built by William the Conqueror.
I will stay quiet for this so you can hear him speak.
Plans to basically keep England as a self-contained country. He built a wooden Morton Bailey castle on this site. It's a typical formation.
Got flies landing on me because you're wondering why.
Wooden castle on top, wooden
fence
on the outside. The room that we are currently sitting in dates from the time of the reign of King John. So he would have been using, or this room would have been being used when he was on the throne, sort of going up to 1216 when he did finally pass away. The gatehouse and the curtain wall that goes around the outside, they were part of the last bits of the castle to be constructed. The unfortunate thing is that most of it no longer exists, and the keep fell down sort of the 1700s and has been then slowly taken apart stone by stone and used in the village, as is often the case. But the castle's original function was sort of defence, protection, look out into the Welsh valleys. But being right in the heart of the Forest of Dean, its secondary and, for the most part, main function, and officially was sort of administration, the centre of commerce and business and industry for the Forest of Dean. Everything that was going on kind of came through this castle. That was the case going into the 1500s, and then at that point, the castle's importance starts to diminish and reduce quite significantly. When you get to going to the 1700s, this castle's on the verge of being abandoned altogether. The prison which was installed in the 1600s, converted from a bedroom into a prison. That was done at the start of the 1600s. That was going on through to the middle of the 1800s, and that was pretty much the last part.
Again, I have got flies landing on me because you're wondering why the camera's shaking and that. Just let you guys know, I just want to give you the heads up.
It's crumbling quite significantly all the way around.
I'll show you the...
And is eventually brought out.
Just I'm just checking the camera angle. Sorry if you can see him here and I'm just trying to check.
See been used as a boarding school for evacuees during World War II. So since 1948, we've been here running as a youth hostel.
So just showing this so you guys can see what me and my mum are in for. It's not just me and my mum. And there's going to be other people going as well, just to give you the heads up. So you guys can see what me and my mum are in for.
Some people will say it's one of the most haunted castles in Britain. Some people will say it's not in the least bit haunted. I've always found it's very much down to personal beliefs. The number of stories that we get, the consistency with stories, and the reports that we've got from people from all over the world and different types of people that have come to stay that have got no relation or connection to each other whatsoever, it does give some weight to the stories that we get. Some rooms have a lot more stories surrounding them than others. So some stories will revolve around just people hearing noises, the odd bang and thud as you get with all old buildings. Really, is it a ghost or is it just a piece of pipework that's 200 years old that's just creaking in the night? And then you get some people that have reported seeing things, whether it's moving objects or actual apparitions themselves. Those ones are a lot less frequent. Up in the guard room, which is one of our dormitory rooms, it has been reported on a few occasions that people have seen the praying woman. She's dressed in what looks like what is described as peasant's robes, sort of.
I apologise for the lack of
dress.
She
walks from the doorway. She walks over to the middle of the room.
For the quality.
She kneels down, facing the back window of the bedroom. She kneels down for a few moments in what looks like prayer, and then she stands up and she simply walks straight out of the window. Interesting that it's that particular window, because that's the window that 600-700 years ago prisoners would have been hung out of. It's the window that faces out over the church. So prisoners that are due for execution are taken to that window, the noose around the neck, and they're just pushed out the window in front of the crowds. You get, there's a story associated with this, two stories actually associated with this particular room. One a lot more infamous than the other. I only discovered one of them very recently. One is that people often hear coming from this end of the castle, usually from this room, the sounds of a crying baby. This story is quite well documented, but the story, so it says, is that when you are in this end of the castle, you can hear music sometimes, but more frequently you're likely to hear the
violins is one of them, from what I've heard.
And the evidence that goes along with this particular story,
I just want to put that out
it
there.
happens.
I will ramble on a bit, but not as much.
With so many different people that don't know anything about it.
When this video is made,
is that it relates to a medieval tradition / practice that we know was done in this particular room regarding the chimney stack in this fireplace, which is where, to prevent evil spirits from getting into your house through your fireplace, you would have to put a dead baby up your chimney breast that's been, at least as far as I'm aware, mummified and wrapped in cloth and put in a little recess that's built specifically in the chimney for this purpose. And then the purity of the baby's soul will ward off the evil spirits. Many, many years ago, when there was a workman up the chimney, whether it was cleaning or repairing, actually found the remains of such a practice and brought out this bundle of cloth from this recess, this hole that had been built into the chimney. My personal, I've got a few that I've experienced in the castle. One was in this room, again, actually, as it happens, with that curtain, specifically that curtain. What happens quite a lot of the time in the winter is we work on our own. It's just one person in to just keep the place ticking over, answer emails and stuff. I was doing my final checks one night, 5 o'clock at night, pitch black outside, all the hostel lights off, no one inside the hostel apart from me, all the doors are locked, and I've checked. This is the last room for me to check on my rounds. It hasn't been windy all day long, and as I walk in through the door, the curtain, the big curtain on the left-hand side, sways, but not just like a little bit like it's flapping in a breeze, like as if someone has kicked it on the bottom. The whole bottom of the curtain has just swayed from one side. And then as I've walked towards it, I felt something brush up my arm. But what was weird about that particular sensation is that it happened at the halfway point, as if, me coming in and startled someone who turned around and kicked the curtain and then tried to leave the room. Door was locked and shut. There was no one in. There was no breeze. So it cannot be explained away that way. And I've come in God knows how many hundreds of times into this room under exactly the same circumstances, and it's only ever happened that once. My favourite one, which hasn't just happened to me, did happen to a previous member of staff as well, is downstairs in the stables, which is our secondary dining room. And the latch on that door is from the Victorian period. It's this big, massive, heavy cast iron latch that you need to lift before you can open the door. Again, it can't just move itself. And I was in the kitchen, and all I hear, through the silence of the castle, is the sound of that latch being lifted and dropped 5 times in a row. There's no one upstairs. There's literally no one in the hospital apart from me. No wind, all doors, all windows shut, and yet the latch on that door rattled 5 times. Again, the level of hauntiness of this castle really depends on how psyched up for it you are. Are you coming here looking for ghosts? Are you expecting to see ghosts, or do you know nothing about it and then have a genuine experience? I mean, that's sort of always how I go on it. If you see exactly what you expect to see in exactly the way you expected to see it, you probably just got your brain running away with you. But when someone that knows nothing about it comes up and says, oh, by the way, I had this experience in my room last night, what was that all about? That's when I take an interest, because I'm thinking, well, there's something to that. If you don't know it's haunted, or you don't think it's haunted, and you experience something that you can't explain away, what's the cause?
So, now you know what me and my mum are in for. That'll be an amazing night. That's some of the hauntings that happen there. I'm pretty much really looking forward to it. And it's going to be a great experience. That's only tomorrow will be a month, and then me and mum will get the packing done. I checked on Google how long it will take for me and my mum to get there from where I live now over to St. Brivels Castle, Gloucestershire. It will take about 2 hours and 56 minutes from what Google's saying. The reason why it took me and my mum for 8 hours last time to Colchester is because there was loads of traffic. The traffic was horrendous, and I thought I'd let you know. So I thought I'd do a video talking about the ghost hunt. If this kind of interests you, I will be doing these videos some of the time, like talking about it. And after I get back from the ghost hunt, I'll do like a stream or a video. I haven't really thought yet if it's going to be a stream or a video, one of the both, talking about talking about the whole thing, literally the whole thing, the packing, the travel, the entire weekend. So I'll be doing that as a stream, I'm guessing. I'm going to be doing that as a stream if you guys want that. Because I know there's people out there that love everything paranormal. So this is not my first ghost hunt, just to put it out there. This is my second ghost hunt. So it's just me and my mum, which is disabled, and you see that. Hang on, just trying to find that stall I'm taking, because I'll give you guys an example why I'm taking it. So there's a reason, because my mum's disabled and she can't. What's the word? Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Because my mum's disabled and she has. My mum's got arthritis and she has trouble walking. She won't be able to walk around the entire perimeter. So what's something me and my mum came up with? We'll take this with us. You like? I'll answer it. We've got a bit of string attached to it, which when my mum needs it, I'll just hold on to the bit of string, and which is connected onto that part of the leg there, and pretty much we'll be taking that stool I've just shown you. We took it last year. It was very useful for my mum because my mum has osteoarthritis as well, so she has trouble walking. So that stall I've just shown you is a really big help for my mum. So it's just me and my mum going. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you haven't checked out Paranormal and Prime on TikTok, I will try my best to link it down in the description. And it's them that are putting this event together. So And the leader I'm close friends with, which is Jesse King. I'm close friends with the guy. If you haven't already, go and follow Paranormal Emporium. I highly recommend it. Love you all so much. Peace out.